Good afternoon, Jeff Donnelly with Teamsters Local 439 again, and today we're going to talk about vacation weeks, how they're earned, how they're used, how they're accrued, all that good stuff. The first slide you see is how you earn vacation weeks, and it's basically based on years of service. So if you have less than 3 years, you get 2 weeks, 3 to 9 is 3 weeks, 10 plus is 4 weeks, 20 plus is 5 weeks, 25 plus is 6 weeks, and anything over 30 is 7 weeks. For your first 2 years, you do get an option B, but you do not earn your option A week until you have 3 years of seniority, and then after that, you will earn your A and B each year afterwards, and we'll get into that a little bit later. So how do you earn your accrued vacation? Vacation is earned from hire date to hire date each year. So if you have a January hire date, it's very simple. The previous year, you earn your vacation January through December. If you have an October hire date, it gets a little more complex because you're earning October to October, which means when you go to selected March, you probably have only earned half of your entitlements. And that's why when they show you what you've earned, a lot of times there's a negative depending on what you took earlier in the year. So it gets a little more confusing. You must work 13 calendar days each month to earn your vacation, and that includes paid sick days, paid vacation, paid option days, and paid holidays. You earn your option A week when you earn your first regular vacation week. So this is different depending on your years of service. If you have 3 years of service, then it's going to take you about 4 months to earn your first vacation week, which means that's when you earn your first option week. If you have 30 years, it's only going to take you 2 months. So you earn your option A after 2 months from your hire date. So it's different for everybody across the board. Your option B, however, is earned when you work the 13 calendar days of your birthday month. That's pretty cut and dry. You earn vacation time when you are off work due to injury or illness. For the remainder of that month, you regain your leave, and 2 months after. So let's say I'm injured in February, say February 7th. I will earn vacation for the remainder of February, I'll earn it for March, and I'll earn it for April. But if I continue to be off work, I will not earn any vacation beyond April. And you do not earn vacation if you're off work due to baby bonding. It is only for illness or injury. So there's several people who will be on FMLA for baby bonding. If you do not work the 13 days in the calendar month, you will not earn vacation for the following year. So just something to be aware of. The vacation formula. So let's go over this. In each operation, all regular weeks and option weeks are added together. So vacations aren't arbitrarily picked. There's a formula that goes with it. We're going to explain that. So from January 1st to March 30th, all of your cashed out weeks, which are your option weeks, anybody that cashed them out, or used vacation weeks are subtracted from this total. This number is now our total amount of vacations for the vacation season. And the vacation season is the first week of April through Thanksgiving week and the week between Christmas and New Year's Day. So if you were to look on a calendar and add up all those weeks, there would be 35 weeks in the vacation season. To find out the number of employees off per week, you basically take the total number of vacations remaining and divide by 35. And then you round up to the next whole number. And we're going to do an example of that next. So let's use the Lathrop Feeder Department for example. There's approximately 153 Lathrop Feeder drivers. And based on each employee's years of service, we add up all the vacations. So that includes every regular week earned and every option week earned from each driver. And let's say that number comes out to 765 weeks. I don't know what the actual number is. We're just putting a ballpark number out there, assuming every person has an average of 5. Okay. We now take that number and we subtract all the vacations either used or cashed out between January 1st and March 30th. So let's just say that number is 153. That will assume each driver used or cashed out 1 week in those first 3 months of the year. So our new number is now 612. We take the 765 we originally had, we subtract the 153 that are used, and we're left over with 612. We take that number and we divide by 35. Remember, that's the amount of vacation weeks in the vacation season. Okay, and this number gives us 17.48. We take that number, we have to round up, so we round up to 18. That means that 18 employees from the Lathrop Feeder Department can take vacation each week of the vacation season. So vacation selection and seniority, and how does this work? In each work group, vacations are selected in seniority order for the vacation season. You begin at the top of the seniority list, and 25% of the workforce selects each week beginning in the month of March. And then the top 25 select the first week of March in seniority order, and so on until the bottom 25% selects the last week of March. So you just break it up basically depending on how many drivers you have. 25% select the first week, 25% the second week, 25% the third week, 25% the fourth week until you finish everybody on the seniority list. Next thing, payroll is a disaster, so try to help you guys avoid some issues. You can schedule stuff appropriately, and maybe you won't have any issues with receiving pay promptly. First of all, scheduling your option A and B weeks are usually the biggest issue. If you schedule your option A as the last scheduled vacation for the year, it'll alleviate a lot of problems, because sometimes if you're a 3-year employee and you have an October hire date and you try to select your option A in February, you may not have earned it yet, and that means that payroll may not pay it, and they're paying with that. You can also, in terms of your option A and option B, you can cash them out if you choose. Or on your option B, you can also decide to hold those days, because it's actually 4 floating days. It's your birthday and the day after, and 2 floating holidays. If you choose to keep those as individual days, you can schedule those this year. If you choose to hold on to them, put them in your bank, you can roll them over to next year. But if you do that, you have to select them as individual days. Next year, you no longer use them as an option B week. And on the option B week, the company will allow you to schedule it as a week off, even though it's only 4 days, but they will pay you 40 straight time hours for it. One thing to mention here is if you do not receive your vacation check the last workday before going on vacation, please notify your full-time supervisor, and at that time request a green check. They're supposed to get it to you within 2 business days, two work days. If you do not receive that, notify either myself or one of the shop stewards, and we'll file a grievance on your behalf. That usually expedites the process of you getting paid, and you may be entitled to penalty pay depending on the length of the delay. Next, let's talk about vacation payouts. So the option A and option B payouts are 20 straight time hours for part-time employees and 40 straight time hours for full-time employees. Regular vacation weeks for part-time employees are paid at the actual hours worked divided by the number of days worked the previous month, but no less than 4 hours. So easier to say is if you average 5.5 hours per day the previous month, they're going to pay you 5.5 hours per day for your vacation time. So you would get 5.5 times 5, which would be 22.5 or so days or hours for that vacation payout. Now it can go no less than 4 though. So if you work 3.75, they would still pay you 4 hours each day to give you a 20-hour check. Regular vacation weeks for full-time employees are paid at 45 straight time hours, regardless if you're package or feeder, doesn't matter. And lastly, what do you do if you do not select vacations? There's been some discrepancies in this. The company, per the contractual language here, has the ability to select your vacations for you if you choose not to select them at the time of which your seniority allows. Now, they should have already done it by April 15th. In some departments, they haven't done it yet, but they will be doing it within the next local review times, which is going to be within the next week or so. So if you have not selected your vacations, I suggest you get with your whoever's doing your vacations in your operation, select your vacations of whatever's left over. Otherwise, the labor manager and the manager of your particular shift will select them for you. If you have any questions, notify myself or any of the stewards, and we'll be happy to assist you further. Thank you for your time.